Hey guys, this is Ali aka Bulbtastic. Thanks to the TooStupidGamerz for having me once again for the Game of the Year list. Yeah, it was actually a pretty difficult year to make a list. I had a lot of trouble and I've been basically editing the list up to the point where we started making these videos. So it took me all the way into February to finalize this list. Yeah, and I was told to do 5 games, but I have 10. So I'm gonna break the rules. Just kidding, I was told I could, but still, I'm breaking the rules. I'm doing top 10. And this year I am putting them in order. So don't worry about that. They are in order, and I'm gonna do it from 10 to 1, so worst to best, but it's top 10 list, so they're all good. So yeah, without further ado, my number 10 spot goes to Sea of Stars, which was a very popular Kickstarter for an indie RPG that's supposed to be a big tribute to Chrono Trigger, which is one of my favorites, and it's one of everybody's favorites basically. I played this game on the Switch because I had a lot of time this last year where I wasn't home, so I was playing it in portable mode, and yeah, this was a great game. I will say I'd say this game is an 8 out of 10. It had the potential to be a 10, but there were a few things where it fell short. I didn't quite like the story's conclusion. I don't think it's bad. I think the conclusion's fine, but in a way it kind of just doesn't reach the heights that it seems to be promising. It's kind of hard to describe without spoiling, but I'd say still play Sea of Stars. For some reason, it was really hyped up, and when it came out, everyone loved it, and then this like wave of contrarianism happened where people now on like Reddit and different communities are saying it's bad. I don't think it's bad, it's just a little easy, and it's more focused on like puzzle solving and combat than actually like building a party or something like that. But yeah, Sea of Stars is an amazing game still. Despite being an 8 out of 10, I'd still say it's amazing and worth playing. My number 9 spot goes to Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower is a game that I played like basically in the last month of the year. It was one of the last month of the year I like scrambled to play everything that I missed out on. So I was like, oh, Pizza Tower, because during the Game Awards people were saying Pizza Tower got snubbed, and I was like, huh. And there was a big controversy that Dave the Diver is not an indie game, but Pizza Tower is, so they should have swapped it, whatever, right? But yeah, I played Pizza Tower and it was amazing. Like, I was very surprised by it. Actually, I played 2 games in the same week, Hi-Fi Rush and Pizza Tower, and I'm sorry, Mash, Hi-Fi Rush didn't exactly do it for me. I think it's a great game, but it didn't make this list. I played it with the intention of putting it on the list, and it didn't make it, but Pizza Tower did. It's basically a tribute to Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance. So it has the same structure. You have so many different moves you can do, and you move really fast. And the goal of the game, it's a side-scrolling platformer. The goal of the game is you get to the end of the level, obviously, but you also have to collect all these pizza ingredients, and then at the end of the stage you have to run back to the entrance, but the stage slightly changes and there's a timer because it's gonna blow up. So like the end of the stage involves you rushing back to the beginning, and it usually plays a little different, which is cool. But yeah, it has some of the nicest feeling controls I've ever felt in a platformer, so please give Pizza Tower a shot. It also has amazing amazingly weird music and art. It looks like every frame of animation was done in MS Paint. Yeah, they did an amazing job. And that moves me into my 8th spot. Number 8 is World of Horror. And the people who watch my stream, they know I hate horror games. I never play them because they make me feel uncomfortable, and I just don't like playing them. But World of Horror, it's more like an adventure game slash RPG slash roguelite. Yeah. And again, this game was also made in MS Paint. So if you go on Steam and write in World of Horror, it basically looks like nothing you've ever seen before. It looks like a moving, living, breathing horror manga. It's black and white, but you can change color palettes and stuff. And it's World of Horror is one of the hardest games I've ever had to describe. So just, I guess, look up a video and check it out. It's really, truly special and amazing. Yeah. My 7th spot goes to Street Fighter 6. I know this was a very popular game. I've been a big Street Fighter fan since the Sega Genesis. I played Street Fighter 2's Tournament Edition or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I've been playing all of them since then. And then Street Fighter 5, like most other people, was a big disappointment for me. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't special to me. And I think like it was so disappointing that it made me appreciate other fighting games, which I guess that's a positive. But then 6 came out and they really knocked it out of the park. It plays really well, it looks great, the music's great, it has a crazy single player mode, story mode thing. Yeah, Capcom knocked it out of the park. And yeah, I don't know, I really like Street Fighter 6, though Tekken 8 has replaced it in my pantheon right now. But Tekken 8 is this year, not last year. And that moves me into spot number 6, which is Star Ocean 2, aka Star Ocean The Second Story R, which is a remake. I know someone is going to yell at me for putting a remake on this list, but you know what? I never played the original one. Star Ocean The Second Story. It's they remade a classic PS1 game, but they did it in the new like HD 2D art style. So like the backgrounds look super nice, but the sprites are very pixelated, and it's a beautiful game. It has a great story, great gameplay. It has like Tales kind of combat, sorta, except you can move around the backgrounds. It's pretty hard to describe. It's like action combat, but you still have to zone into a private zone to fight, like an arena. Yeah, if you've played Tales, you basically know what it is, but honestly, I think it's better than Tales. This one in particular, I think, is better than Tales. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most of you have heard, if you like JRPGs, this was like one of the biggest ones of the year. So, yeah, go check out Star Ocean 2. It's on everything. Okay, spot number 5 goes to Baldur's Gate 3. I will preface this by saying I have only played like maybe 10-ish hours of this game. And most of the reason for that is I've either been waiting for other people to play it with me, or I just haven't found the time to sit down and play it. But from what I've played of Baldur's Gate 3, it's incredible. I played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 when I was a kid. They really knocked this one out of the park. It really feels like you could try any solution that you think of to solve problems in this game. It's a true D&D sim, true turn-based D&D sim. Probably the best one ever made. So if you like tabletop games, if you like RPGs, try out Baldur's Gate 3. Even if you're not into those kinds of games, you should try it out anyway. Spot number 4 goes to Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda. Sorry, MASH. I know you're not a fan of these new Zelda games, but yeah, I don't know. I loved Breath of the Wild. It's one of my favorite games ever. And then they just like basically expanded on it, and somehow they recycled the same map, but it still feels good and fresh and new. I haven't finished this game yet, but I did put probably almost 100 hours in, which goes to show you how much content there is. You don't have to do all of it. You could probably finish it in like 30-ish, but like, I just kept going. It's just fun. The building, I'm not the biggest fan of building stuff in games, like customizing vehicles and things. I don't really do that stuff, but they give you enough tools that if you don't want to do it yourself, you can like use presets or build your own presets and then reuse them. Or you just choose not to engage with it at all, which is cool, you know? I'd say if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, maybe give this one a shot, you know? It's just different enough that you might like it more. And it has that weird kind of Majora's Mask-y doom and gloom vibe added to it. So I know all you Majora's Mask nuts out there love that stuff. So yeah, give Tears of the Kingdom a try. Number 3 goes to Armored Core 6. I don't remember the subtitle. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. I've played the old Armored Core games before, but I never truly got super into it because they always felt like simulation games first, like hardcore mech games. Like I have to like really think about how to build a mech. But this one really got me. It has great mech building stuff, but also the levels are really cool. There's some crazy set piece moments in the game, and it's very difficult, but I just want to tell everybody, I know it's a From Software game. It doesn't play like a Souls-like, so don't let that turn you off if you don't like Dark Souls games or Elden Ring. Armored Core does not play like that. I don't know why there was like a rumor floating around that it plays like that. It doesn't play like that at all. If you like mechs to any degree, any giant robots, you gotta check out Armored Core 6. It's probably the best mech game ever made, honestly. It's up there with Zone of the Enders 2. Okay, and now my number 2 spot. Number 2 goes to Final Fantasy 16, which honestly I did not expect to like. I'm a big fan of the series, but 15 didn't exactly do it for me. I liked 15, but it was just maybe like a 7 out of 10 for me, or a 6 out of 10 for me. I also didn't like 13 at all, or the 13 sequels, so I kind of lost faith. But you know what? 16 is not perfect, and it is like an action Devil May Cry style game and not really an RPG, but it's a step in the right direction. I think they did a great job. It looks great. The English voice acting is great, which English is the lead language. It's not dubbed, which is crazy, and all the actors put on next level performances, especially the main character. He's one of the best main characters ever in the series, which I don't say lightly. And yeah, the story gets real dark, so if you don't like dark stories, don't bother. But yeah, I'd say if you also lost faith in the series, just give 16 a shot. I know it's probably coming to PC soon. So yeah, if you're a PC only person, just wait for 16. It's great. Give it a shot. And then finally, my number 1 spot goes to Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which also got snubbed at the Game Awards. It is a true indie game. Should have got on that list. I think actually maybe it did. I don't remember, but it didn't win. Definitely did not win. And it didn't even get nominated for best soundtrack. Like what's going on? Amazing soundtrack. And amazing pseudo sequel to Jet Set Radio. I know it's not in the same series, but it's obvious what they were doing here, right? It really puts pressure on Sega, because who even knows if Sega will be able to do as good of a job as these guys did. But yeah, kudos. I know I'm a little biased. I'm a Jet Set Radio boy. But yeah, Bomb Rush was my game of the year. And I loved it. It was amazing. My only complaint is I wish it was a little longer. I was streaming it and it kind of just ended. The modding community is kind of keeping it alive. There's like a multiplayer mod. There's a bunch of mods that unlock the speed limit. It's pretty insane. So yes, Sega, take notes. Play the game, take notes. Don't be stubborn. Learn from that. And everybody, please go play all 10 of these games, but play Bomb Rush the most. Yeah, I apologize for not having like box art or anything. I'm not really prepared for this as well as I should have been. But I also don't have physical copies of all these games. Actually, most of them I have digitally. But yeah, thank you to the Two Stupid Gamers, and thank you BioZVenom for doing this once again and having me on. Looking forward to next year. It's already a crazy year for gaming. I already have like maybe 2 or 3 games on my top 10 list already, which is crazy. And again, watch Two Stupid Gamers on YouTube, watch me on Twitch, and watch Bio. And I'll see you all next year? Maybe? Peace.